I've been afraid to follow up my Death of Bruce Lee video because it's had so much success. I've been making videos for about 7 years, and finally YouTube promoted one. In just its first week, it got more views, likes, comments, and subscribers than all of my other videos combined. But right before I made that video, I had posted one about the infamous computer hacker Kevin Mitnick, only to find out that shortly afterwards, he died from pancreatic cancer at the age of 59, leaving behind a pregnant widow. He was only 10 years older than me, and I would have liked to have met him someday. Well, since his story and much of old-school computer hacking grew out of a curiosity about how the phone company worked, here are a few more of my phone company stories that I recorded last year.
Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
Let's go back, 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 back.
Ancient tales from Planet Runehawk. When I was working at the phone company, we used to have regular staff meetings, and whenever the meetings were over, I would go and help my coworker Gary with his jobs, and he would help me with mine. And throughout the day, I would do impressions of our fellow coworkers in our department. And so we had a guy that looked like Floyd Pepper from the Electric Mayhem Band on the Muppets, so my impression of him was always singing songs like from Dire Straits or whatever, but I would replace all the lyrics with phone company jargon, things pertaining to our job. But then we had another guy in our department who, he was kind of like one of those guys where nothing phases him. The supervisor would always say some kind of doom and gloom scenario, and this guy would always, he was kind of a sing-songy guy, and nothing really phased him, it just, everything kind of rolled off his back, and my impression for him was, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I would do an impression of the supervisor saying some horrific thing, and then this guy, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And this went on for months. These impressions, they just kind of permeated the day. It didn't even have to take place after a meeting anymore. I would just be doing impressions of everyone just for that one coworker of mine. And one day in the meeting, the sing-songy guy was talking, and Gary just kind of chimed in with, "That's the way the cookie crumbles, right? That's what you're going to say? That's the way the cookie crumbles? Come on, say it." And the guy was like, "Well, what are you talking about, Gary? What is it? Cookie crumbles? What?" And and Gary, yeah, he would say, "Hey, come on, you used to say that all the time. Say it again." I don't remember ever say, "Okay, cookie crumbles" or something. So my impression had taken hold in Gary's mind as if it were an actual thing that took place, and this was now a real catchphrase that the guy would say, even though he never said it. There was a song that used to come on the radio in our work trucks at the phone company, I don't know, a dozen years ago or something like that. Anyways, whenever it would come on, I could not change the station quick enough or turn it off or anything. Instinctively, my fist would shoot out from my body to punch the off button before it was faster than thought. And, well, I hate to say the band because it became like a meme of how bad they are. I didn't even know who it was. I never made it past the first word in the song. It was years and years later who I found out what. Anyways, it was the band Nickelback, and whatever song it was. In fact, they've got a couple of songs. They all sound so grating on my nerves, it's actually physically painful to listen to. I've never heard any of their songs in their entirety. I cannot make it past the first line. And around that time, there was a coworker who I accidentally almost dropped a 140-pound metal ladder on his skull. Anyways, whenever this song from Nickelback would come on the radio, he would stop what he was doing. And this is a guy who seemed like he didn't even know that music existed. He was one of these gruff, no-nonsense, ain't got time for that kind of guys. And whenever this stupid song would come on, he would stop. He'd put his tools down and he'd shake his head and say, "Man, this is a good song." I remember about 31 years ago, my friend Sean asking me if I would like to have his White Album CDs. He said, I bought them, and when I listen to them, I can tell that it's the greatest music ever recorded, and yet I don't see myself ever wanting to listen to it again. People say stupid things about music. Around that same time, there were a couple of radio DJs that I used to listen to. In fact, they're still on the air now. I just don't listen to them anymore. Anyways, back then I remember one of them saying that he had given up on Michael Jackson when he sang that love song to a rat. Another stupid thing. Oh yeah, gave up on his music before he ever did any of his good music. Good timing there. I myself said something stupid about music as well. I remember telling my friend Rob, after Andy Williams came along, I don't see what the use for Frank Sinatra was. And he told me I was an idiot, and he was right. Now I understand. You can't say these stupid things about music. Being the two of us, me.
Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Okay. Oh my God.
There will come a day and youth will pass away. What will they say about me? When the end comes, I know those are just a gigolo. Life goes on without me.
Very good. Bye.
That's it.